Hey guys, welcome back. I wanted to talk about this phrase I seem to be reading and hearing about everywhere, the dysregulated nervous system. This whole concept, this story that we tell ourselves and each other about nervous systems that are somehow out of whack. They're dysregulated. They're doing things we don't like racing heartbeats and not sleeping, and all the things we've learned to categorize as a dysregulated nervous system. And the thing is, when we buy in to all these stories and beliefs about how our body is getting it wrong, how something's off kilter, well, what do? We hunker down and we start problem solving. We get in there and we try to control and we try to manage and we do all kinds of things to get that nervous system to settle down. Why? Because we've been conditioned. We've been innocently programmed to believe that the goal is to have certain experiences and keep other experiences away. The goal is to have the quote, good experiences and have as few, if any, of the bad experiences. But that's just learning. That's just conditioning we picked up along the way. It's not the truth. And it sets us up for a lot of suffering, a lot of hard work, a lot of trying and managing and controlling and fixing. Well, what if it can be so much simpler than that? One of the things I say a lot with my clients and in office hours is this system, this body, this costume, this vehicle, whatever you want to call this, and this Missy vehicle, this earth costume, was somehow born with a very hot nervous system. It's a hot running nervous system. I think of it like an engine that just sort of runs hot. It's been like that for as long as I can remember. And it still is. It does things that people without these hot running nervous systems don't do. My heart will race. Like if I'm waiting to speak and I've raised my hand and it's getting close to me, my heart will race out of my chest. I can feel the vibration of it. I can feel like, you know how people say you can feel your heartbeat in your eardrums? That's how fast and loud my heart beats. I'll get sweaty palms, sweaty back of my neck, all kinds of stuff, really hot. Sometimes like fluttering in my belly, a feeling in like a weird sensation in my throat, all kinds of stuff. And if it's really running hot, some of my go-to symptoms are like a feeling like I can't swallow. That's one of my favorites. Like if it's really running hot, there's this sensation like, oh no, I'm not going to be able to swallow, or even maybe a sensation that, you know, if I try to swallow my spit, I'm not swallowing. Or I'm trying to think of a couple of my other systems favorite ones. Oh, dizziness. I mean, that's like universal, isn't it? Like a feeling of kind of like not quite on steady ground, like you're in a fun house. Um, let's see, a vertigo. I guess that kind of goes along with dizziness, where you get up and you're like, whoa, whoa, takes a minute. I think that's about it for my system's favorite and most prominent hot running nervous system little tricks. But here's the thing. None of that is a system that's gone wrong. None of that is a system messing up. It's a system doing what that system does. It's not suffering. It can't keep me from doing things. That's a story. It's a story. It's a belief that certain nervous system things keep you from doing things, keep you from life, keep you from going out and doing what you want to do, keep you from being happy and joyful, keep you from a amazing life. None of those things do that. But there's a very strong conditioned belief. It's just a belief. It's a set of stories There's a belief that it can and that it does. But that's predicated, that sits on top of a conditioned belief that those symptoms, those sensations, those racing thoughts are somehow out of place, or somehow dangerous, or somehow inherently bad. But what if they're not? I like to think of each moment as just life arising as this. Life arising as this, without all the stories of what things mean and what you've learned. Life is just arising as this. And then you can keep it still simple and light, but maybe add a little color and flavor. Life is arising as this, a sensation in my belly. Life is arising as this, a fluttering of my heart. Without the extra stories that you have learned, they're not true. They're not the truth. They're not reality. They're stories and beliefs you've picked up along the way about what things mean. What do shaky hands mean? What do trembly, noodly legs mean? But stay present with just what is in this moment, without all the stories. And your nervous system is not in any way, shape, or form dysregulated. You've got a system doing some stuff. Life is arising as this. Life is arising as noodly legs. That does not mean anything. It doesn't say anything about you. It doesn't even say anything about the next moment that's about to arise. Because every single moment is new and fresh. It's only a mind that strings them all together with cause and effect, and this happened first, and that's going to happen next. But without those thoughts, which are just thoughts, they're just stories, we only have now, this moment. I love it. Let me see if I have a book. This is one of my favorites. Let me grab this book. You know, when you, I guess if you're my age or a little older, flip books were really big back in the day. I had so many of them, and you would like do this to the pages and it would have like a little person running. If you did this, it would look like the man was like running up a hill. That's kind of how our brain works. Our brain flips the book so quickly, it looks like everything is happening in sequence. But if you just pause for a second, without all that learning and conditioning, there's just this page, full stop. And then there's this page, free, fresh, clean, full stop. Without the stories of what's about to happen, or what just happened, or what this means, there's just this. This moment, life arising as this. Dysregulated nervous system is something we learned. It's a concept. It's a label. It's just a bunch of letters squished together that spell out dysregulated nervous system. What if we set that aside and instead stayed very present to what is here right now without the stories we've learned to tell about it? Is your heart racing? Okay. Life is arising perfectly with absolute trustworthiness and safety as heart racing. This experience, exactly as it is, before all the stories, before all the things you've learned, this experience is so safe, so trustworthy, and as far as I can see, one of the greatest, most perfect things that could be happening right now for your freedom, for your liberation, for your growth to begin identifying less here and more here, where peace and joy are stable, imperturbable. So let that nervous system run free. Take a step back and watch it. Notice it. Don't identify with it. It doesn't need your judgment, your identification, your attachment to it. Just move a few rows back in the theater and watch what this body does. Watch what that nervous system does. And in doing so, I bet you can guess what happens by design. It stops mattering so much. You find yourself just in life more, doing stuff more, because you're not working so hard and using so many resources to try to change a nervous system, to try to fix something that doesn't need fixing. And the cool part is you may find yourself doing things like yoga, deep breathing, meditation, but you'll be doing them for fun. You'll be doing them because it's awesome to do them, not to fix yourself, not to try to quiet the mind. The mind just quiets itself, doesn't need your help. The nervous system does what it needs to do. It doesn't need your interference. What if there's actually no such thing outside of thought, outside of our made up words and labels, as a dysregulated nervous system? Could you just let this moment arise exactly as it is, trusting that beyond your intellect, beyond your logical little brain, it makes perfect sense. It's actually really cool, benevolent, loving, intelligent, wise, all the good stuff, exactly as it's arising. I want to end with this little piece of an email I got from somebody. We had been corresponding about this dysregulated nervous system and all her symptoms. And her response back to me included this little blurb. She says, I appreciate you and the pointers in your email. They are so helpful. Thank you for taking the time. It's reassuring to know that you are normal and you just let your nervous system run free. I've spent so much time, effort, and money trying to change and fix my nervous system. It seems so sad and counterintuitive now. I finally really understand. I have no control over this body or anything really. It's a really good feeling. What if, and don't give this to your mind, because little minds and egos, they hate this stuff because they love to be in control. But what if your body's doing just fine? Your nervous system knows exactly what to do. And aside from your mind telling scary stories, everything is working out perfectly. And none of this stuff is a problem. It's part of your expansion, your growth, your freedom and liberation, part of helping you identify more with who you really are. I hope this helps, and I look forward to seeing you. And I hope that you'll consider joining us in office hours. We meet every Thursday at 3 o'clock Eastern, and this is the kind of stuff we talk about, and we really dig in and explore it. It's a lot of fun. So if you're interested in joining office hours, just go to my website. It's in the show notes, and I hope to see you there. Thanks, guys. Bye.